There it is. Are you excited? It's Friday, y'all. I have a new person helping me today in the studio. His name is Ed Wise, because our regular person, Courtney, she is on vacation. She's hanging out, and wherever she's hanging out at, it ain't your business. But we're waiting for Chris to come from across the street. He's at Liege, and which is directly across the street from where the studio is. So he'll be here shortly. But until then, how y'all doing? Let me know where you guys are viewing from. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to our page. And if you're not a member of our YouTube channel, go ahead and go to YouTube right now and subscribe to Samantha Wise and just like it and subscribe it. And so every time we're doing something, or if we're giving away items or workouts, so on and so forth, it will let you know, will notify you that we're giving out these specials. So I'm going to spend some time talking to Mr. Wise.
Come on, Sam.
What? Baby, you want to talk to me on camera? Give me 2 seconds. Just give me 1 minute of you.
I'm right here.
Okay, but they can't see you.
They can hear my voice.
He kind of shy. They think you're invisible. People think y'all think but you're not gonna really say nothing.
Talk about what, Sam?
Okay, just come sit right here. Let me interview you for like 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Come on, sir. Come on, let's practice. I'm waiting for you. Come on. Come on.
What are you gonna ask me a question?
I can't tell you what I'm gonna ask you.
I need to know that.
Okay, it's gonna be appropriate. I promise. I'm not gonna embarrass you. Come on, sir. Have a seat. So you guys help me.
My mother take me to another school.
Okay, we gonna talk about that. So we try. What we're trying to do is stall a little time. So y'all say hi to ANY. They say hi.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
What are we gonna talk about?
I don't know. You got me over here on
You my backup.
You need to call the right person.
You are the right person.
No, this ain't what I do, Sam.
Okay, so look at the people. Y'all see Mr. Wise. We're gonna ask him a couple questions. What's important to you in life? Tell me what 3 things that is important to you in life. That's easy.
3 things like.
What 3 things are most important to you in this life? You only get 3.
I only need 1.
Okay, what is that?
It's my family.
Your family is the most important thing to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Or you don't want to say 3?
No, I don't need 3. I told you it's my family.
Okay. Why you gotta be mean though? Dang.
Mean.
Y'all see what I gotta go through?
My family.
Okay, I
put me on the spot.
Okay, you know.
Jeff's not here yet.
Yeah, but that's okay, right? You're a good feeling. I like the way me and you talk, right? Well, what else you want to talk about? I'm gonna let you pick. You wanna ask me a question?
I want to ask you no question.
Why? Why are you looking at the door? He ain't here yet. Come on, ask me a question. Now you interview me.
I ain't got nothing to interview you about.
Why? You don't want to know nothing about me?
I know pretty much everything about you.
Okay, so I'll ask you this question. So there was that question on Facebook the other day, and it said,
I'm not answering no questions about Facebook.
Babe, it's just...
Okay, you can say it.
But why wouldn't you answer it? Why you always gotta be difficult?
Okay, what's the question said?
The question said, what if a man asked his girlfriend for her passcode to her phone? That's the only question.
I ain't got nothing to do with no man and his girlfriend.
So I mean,
that's between them.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Why you gotta make everything
between them?
You make everything so difficult, honey. Hold on. He gonna try. He gonna go get Chris in a minute because he don't want me to ask him no questions. You don't like police questions?
Police questions.
But why me asking you a question is considered police?
Why? Because that ain't my business.
Okay, but I'm asking you regular questions. So why?
That ain't my business. I'm not worried about no man.
Okay. So would you like my passcode?
What you mean?
Do you want the passcode to my phone?
Come on, Sam.
You already know it.
Okay then.
Okay, so don't be saying. But why
would I go through your phone? I don't need to go through your phone.
Why?
Because I don't need to.
Well, why?
That ain't what I do, Sam.
Okay. Do I go through your phone?
No, not that I know of.
Come on, babe. You already know we don't get down like that. Y'all see what I gotta go through?
No, you don't go through my phone.
No. So what's important about having a friend? Tell me one thing you dig about having friends. What's important? What's the best quality?
What you mean? Loyalty.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Okay. Why you was getting ready to get mad again? And say, why I'm asking you that question?
I don't do this.
Okay, but you're doing good. You're actually doing really great. Okay, you want me to ask you another question?
What about?
Work.
I don't want to talk about no work, Sam.
Okay, so why don't you like people to say boss?
Boss?
Yeah, so somebody be like, I got a boss. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know. I don't feel no kind of way about it. I mean, I don't
Do you have a
address
boss?
nobody by boss. No.
You have a boss? So,
No.
So the person that's over you at work, like the person you report to, what do you call that person?
I don't know. Maybe team leader, supervisor.
Okay, but you don't like the word boss.
No, I choose not to use that word boss.
Okay.
I mean, if I say boss, I'm talking to one of the homies. And what's happening, boss? I'm giving him that proper. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like boss either.
You don't?
Because it means like they're gonna be the boss of me. Like you was just trying to tell me what to do in here.
No,
You was clapping your hands going like this. You was trying to act like Ike and Tina or somebody. What's that man? Ike? You trying to tell me what to do behind the screen? But why are you looking for Chris?
I'm looking. Yeah.
He's still looking for Chris. We're gonna go ahead. And you know what? He said he was walking over, so I know he has a lot going on over there. We're gonna just continue our conversation about being parents. How about that?
Sam.
What?
I don't want to talk about.
You don't want to talk about being a wonderful father?
For what?
What was it? Like your daughter? Aren't you excited about your daughter?
I'm very excited about my daughter.
Okay, by why? For what? Why? Why are you excited about your daughter? Tell the people, why are you excited about your daughter? Because she gonna be watching us. She gonna want to know why her daddy's excited.
Well, I already see. She said something right there.
No, she didn't. What she said? What she say? Dad? That's what she said, Dad? Ooh, he really looking for Chris, y'all. Well, we're gonna have to come up with something to talk about. Because baby, you gotta help me entertain the people until he comes. I mean, what do we talk about when we're at home? Are people putting trash in front of your house? People throwing boo-boo and you be mad? What about the Prius bullies?
What about?
About the people you said be bullying you because you drive a Prius. Do you really believe that people be really bullying you? I think, well, TT don't like Prius people that drive Prius. So Ed drive the Prius.
Yeah,
and he said people don't respect people that drive Priuses. That's what he said.
I mean, you know, hey.
What? Hey.
That's Chris right there, Sam?
Yeah, that's Chris. Ed ready to get out the hot seat. Hold on, y'all. Chris is walking in.
All right,
thank you.
5 seconds.
He had to fill in for you. He was watching. Look, Chris, he watching the window.
Yeah, Dougie fresh.
He was about to come get you. He was sweating.
Literally just got on the plane.
Look.
Literally just got off the plane.
Yeah, we went there waiting. I don't know if you want that chair or you might want that bigger one.
I'm there.
Hi, baby. How are you?
I'm good.
You must feeling my stand here.
Yeah. Y'all, look, my guest has finally arrived.
I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry. I'll do my best.
I know you've been jet setting.
You know, I was working on some stuff in Mexico.
I know we ready for 2020. That's what, 2022?
2022.
So Chris got a big party coming up. He's gonna tell y'all all about it in a little while. He's been gone for what, about 4 days?
About 5 days.
That's why you tan and stuff. So you did get some.
Brown skin, man.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. They said dark is in.
White beard.
Well, hey, that means you an adult now. So welcome y'all to Samantha Wise Word. My guest Chris Rachal is here. Chris is the owner of Liege. Liege is closing. These are the final days of Liege. We're actually really, really sad.
Countdown.
It's a countdown. So y'all got to come out, what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And are we doing Monday too? I'm here all days. I'm going to have to sneak out and go all days.
Block party.
It's a block party.
Monday's
We're going to shut the street down? Oh, so we shutting the street down. Y'all are invited, so make sure y'all come. What's the address? 9th Street?
481 9th Street.
481 9th Street. We're going to party in a safe way.
Absolutely.
That's
all,
first.
That's all we do.
That's first. So, last days of Liege.
That's sad.
Don't that sound sad?
Not really, not for
It
me.
don't?
I mean, it does in one sense, and another it doesn't, because being able to leave and not be put out or not, you know, how most of us black people, like getting evicted or the police was messing with us or the city or it was something.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to leave when I was ready to leave,
Right.
and to do other things makes me feel good about the whole situation.
And on a high note.
On a high note. And it also makes me feel like it sets an example for other businesses, black businesses, to see how it should be done.
Right.
Instead of or I had to close because sometimes I'm closing because I want to close on the date I want to close. I'm opening my new place on the date I want to open it, and then I'm opening something else that I ain't even told you about.
I know. You know what? I tried to Google you. I was like, man, here's your carbon footprint ain't. I can't find too much about you. That's why I gotta have this conversation with you.
I'll be real quiet. You know, because for a long period of time in Oakland, as I'm sure you guys know, we weren't always accepted. And
you mean the establishments?
The establishments, the buildings that were available to us, the opportunities, they frowned upon everything nightlife and everything that had to do with Black people, period. So for a long period of time, I managed to stay out, even though I was very limelightish. Right. I managed to stay out of the limelight. So yeah, when you Google stuff about me, like not a lot of stuff.
I really tried to Google you. So the last thing, the first thing that popped up was in 2015 when they were Old Oakland was trying to say that the clubs were causing all the violence in the community, and you spoke up, was like, come on now, that had nothing to do with the clubs. It's just
we see where that's at now.
Well, I mean, the whole downtown Oakland is basically clubs.
Your brother a block away.
At the police station.
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What that had to do with the clubs?
It had nothing to do with the clubs. The club wasn't open. So the people want to know, who is Chris Rachal? Who are you?
Who am I? That's a good
Who
question.
are you?
Like, who am I? Serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Family man. Brother of all.
I would say so.
Wealth of knowledge. And open to help anybody at any point. That's who.
Where did you come from?
East
Oakland, for real? For real?
82nd.
East Oakland, 82nd?
82nd.
Wow, I would have never thought.
82nd Iris.
So did you ever have a corporate job?
I haven't worked for anybody in. So the last job I had, which really kind of wasn't a job, was Beaver City.
Who?
Beaver City.
Beaver City.
That was the last.
I think I heard that you used to work at Beaver City. So you was like the highest salesperson. Now you had to be the highest salesperson there.
Right under the owner. He was. So we did a lot of
stuff.
Sold a lot of pagers. A lot of beepers.
So what made you want to be an entrepreneur versus working for somebody?
Actually, after working for him and going around opening stores for him and learning from Beeperman himself, I just didn't want to work for nobody else again at that point, because I saw what he was able to do for himself. And most people thought it was like some white boy. It wasn't. He was a Cuban refugee that came over here. Family didn't speak English, all of that. So when I watched what he was able to do and not be overly educated either, not like some bunch of degrees or anything. Just guy came out from San Jose that was able to do it. And so it's funny, like everyone that worked at Beaver City at some point, like just about everybody's doing it. Like on some crazy level. Like Bill used to be like my right-hand guy. He's like my best friend. So Bill is like the vice president of cookies.
Wow. So he invested in you guys, and then you guys took it.
He taught us a lot. He definitely taught us a lot, and then we took it and ran with it. And like everybody went to different areas. I went to nightlife. Well, I left there and went into car stereo. I had my own car stereo rim shop for a long time, and then left that and went into nightlife. And I decided I was going to give parties for a living, and I just never stopped.
So when did you start giving parties?
I started giving parties. I gave my first party, I was probably 23.
Oh, dang. And that money came in good.
Well, it had its ups and downs. You got to figure over. We'll be 54 next week.
Wow! Happy birthday!
Thank you. that's a 20-something year span of
Yeah.
giving parties.
That's more than 20.
That's
like
weekends.
40. That's what, it was
That's
30,
a lot of
31 years, 32 years.
2 years.
That's a long time.
Without working for anybody.
That's a blessing.
Like,
But you
time.
look what you have done. So I looked at, okay, Liege, Mimosas, Slice, you had the beeper, you had the car stereo place. How many other businesses have you opened and employed? Because I know it seems like all your stuff is basically here, right?
Probably a dozen other ones that
Wow.
people may or may not have known I had anything to do with. But yeah, there's been a lot in between.
Wow. So you're not afraid?
Nah, I ain't never been afraid.
Ever? So you don't be like, I got this amount of money, and if I go and invest it, then
I've never once thought
you never.
when I left Beaver City, I don't even think we had $10,000.
Okay.
And I didn't borrow any money from anybody. I
Okay.
had all my
Did you
street
just say,
friends and everybody
yeah,
that was like, man, come on, buddy. And we just never
went back.
looked back. And it's been, I'm here.
You are here.
I'm here.
So you're closing. Liege. Why? Just tell me why. You could have, don't you think you could have done Liege and like you've done in the past? You've always had Liege and right?
I think, well, for one, financially it doesn't make sense for me.
Okay.
Because you're here, so you know how much the rent is around here per square foot.
Mm-hmm.
So what most good entrepreneurs did during COVID was analyze their business.
Mm-hmm.
So when I analyzed my business and then did a market analysis to see what people were actually paying at that time, it just kind of didn't make sense for me.
Okay. You mean during COVID?
During COVID, you were able to write these incredible deals.
Okay.
Just like for you to be able to get in here.
Exactly.
It's like, had this been at the height of everything,
I
they
would be
wanted,
here. I'd be outside.
$6 a square foot.
I'd be outside.
You would look at this and it's expensive. Like, I can't pay that.
Right.
But that's what they would want.
Exactly.
So when COVID hit and people were able to write these deals, and I'm looking around, so the deals that I've been able to put together, I would not be able to do that over there. So it makes this less appealing to me.
Okay.
It's like, from a business standpoint, I've known for over a year. I knew for a year that I was going to be leaving here.
Okay.
That space.
Okay.
I didn't know if I was going to do Liege somewhere else, if I was going to move. I was supposed to move to the brewery right there.
Okay.
And it was, like when I got the paperwork to move over there, and this was over a year ago, this was before COVID, it wasn't what was agreed upon. So when I looked at it
changed.
Well, yeah, after I looked at it, we went back and forth. But then what it did was it made me think that I'm not being as efficient as a business person as I should be, because it's all about what's on the paper. It's nothing about what you say to somebody.
And I know you told me that. You told me this one 2 weeks
nothing to do
ago,
with
right?
what somebody says. They'll tell you all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It's not in writing. It's not in
You've always
contract.
you said that
Because
to
that's
me.
what they're gonna hold you to, and they'll hide behind and say, "I didn't do that. I didn't say that." Or,
So y'all hear that? Make sure it's in the
It's
paperwork.
got to be in the paperwork.
Word of
when
mouth.
that happened, it made me think. I had one of my friends said to me, and this is something you got to think about too. He said, "Chris, so that's your landlord. It's not your friend." And I had to really think about that for a minute, because I'm friends with people, but he was like, just remember, that's your landlord, not your friend. So when it comes down to this being a $40-50 million endeavor, and you're like really like this big on that scale, like what's probably going to happen if you become a casualty. It's like, hey man, I'm gonna pass up $40-50 million, so you for Liege to be there, it ain't gonna happen. Right. So you gotta really be looking out for yourself as a business person and with your own brands and whatnot, and try and stay ahead of these guys.
Right.
Like really, that's what it boils down to, is that it might look a certain way, but I'm 3 steps ahead of everything. So I was able to close on my own terms.
Right.
I was able to, once that happened, and I figured out, okay, I'm kind of slipping from a business standpoint.
Did you think you got too comfortable?
I did. I got way too comfortable.
So
I started, listening to Adam and whatever else. And then when, you get it from Peter or something else, it's like in writing, and it's, well, and then it's like, oh, deal with Peter. Okay, well, Peter is about
P.
He is about the paper, and that's it. Right. So
it's the business.
That made me have to be about the paper. So when I started looking at the market research and where I could be and what I could get at that time, a year ago, which was why I was able to essentially lock down M2, acquire the space, build the space, and close this when that is open.
Wow.
Like that. So it's not like some by chance that happened. I planned it
strategic.
That way.
Strategic, right. And you got to be strategic with it. So you mentioned M2. I didn't mention M2. He mentioned M2.
I'm gonna mention everything because I'm gonna give you a interview.
Okay, so M2. What is M2?
M2 is 11 years ago. I opened a bar with one of my best friends called Mimosa, and it became a very lucrative staple in the community. Back to having your paperwork tight and understanding the business. That was the first commercial lease for a retail space that I ever did.
Okay.
Like a car stereo place is going to be a different, like a shop lease is going to be different than like a commercial space lease. So that was the first one that I did, and there was a lot of stuff in there that I didn't understand. And one of the things was there's a reason why they give you leases that are like 150 pages, 120 pages.
They have to have an attorney
look at, because you'll never understand all the language.
You've been said, okay, never mind, I ain't finna read this.
Right, and we'll be signing some stuff. So there was all kinds of clauses for breach in there. So while we were over there, we were doing very well. Most people think that we closed because we didn't sell hard alcohol. Okay. Which couldn't be further. So we were actually doing close over $100,000 a month just selling beer, wine, and champagne. Hey. But the noise, just like over here, where you're trying to have people live and nightlife intersect, and that's usually a bad rub. People want peace and quiet. Right. Somebody. Not everybody, probably 80% of the people over there were fine with everything, but there was that 20% that had an issue that raised such a problem and wanted to break their lease with the landlord, with the owner of the building, and just did all this stuff to get us evicted. So what happened was we were about 3 days late on just dropping off a check. And at that time, my rent was only like $4,000. So it was very cheap.
He was killing it. He was killing it.
So we were like 3 days late or something like that. And so I think, the rent was due on that Friday, and we just didn't get over there. And then Monday, we went and dropped off a check and gave us a check back. And sent us an eviction notice and said we had to be out in 3 days.
Oh, goodness.
So at that point, like with the money, we had put about $250,000 cash, all of our own money into that. So when everything happened so abruptly that I didn't really know what we was gonna do. Right. Like I was.
3 days. You was like, wait, where did this happen? What happened?
Well, I'll tell you how God works, though. I called a friend of mine, and I said, man, Corey, let's go have a drink. And we came over here. We went to La Vende. It was on the corner where the district is. Okay. And I was sitting in there, and I knew my friends that owned that place, and they had just opened Liege. So I told my friend, I said, man, I want to try to buy this food. So I don't know how to do it because I ain't got no money.
Right.
And he's like, you always figure it out anyway. So I just called him, like literally out the blue. I hadn't talked in probably 6 months. Hey, what's up? What's up with Lavende? And she goes, Chris, I've been meaning to call you. What? She's like, I got a deal for you. I was like, well, I want Lavende. She's like, oh, I just sold it to the district. I was like, oh. She's like, but you could buy Liege from me.
Oh.
She's like, me and her husband, Dirk, were getting a divorce, and you could, I want off everything. I just want to be out of all of this.
Wow.
So I was able to buy it from her. We just worked a deal, and I was able to buy it from her. Probably was like a month later, not even a month later after
Mimosa.
After closing it. And I've been there ever since.
And so what year did you assume Liege?
2010.
Okay. Oh, that's a good run.
11 years.
That's a great run.
Yeah.
Especially
for nightlife.
Especially, for Oakland. But see, you don't play either.
Nightlife.
You don't play. I remember when I first heard of you, I thought you was mean.
I ain't mean.
Well, I thought you was mean. Well, yeah, they was mean
but
too.
They're not mean too. They're not mean.
Well, I think after they know you.
We just try to eliminate all the bullshit.
Is it an emergency over there?
Everybody needs it.
Uh-oh. So his staff is coming over here, y'all. They know where he at too. You look
I'm in the
cute.
middle of a podcast.
It's okay. She cute. Come on. It's
I
okay.
didn't know. Well, because we can't get the music back on because Showheart's computer's older, right? So
With Sister Sam, it's okay. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff that happens.
It happens all the time.
You know, because I
get those calls from out of town too. Hey,
something didn't work out right. But you have adequate
I'm sorry.
staff. You have, I love your staff. I love now that, they know who I am and I know who they are. They're very respectful. They treat everybody accordingly. And when it's not right, they're going to handle you accordingly. Definitely not put hands on you kind of way, but they just make sure they're not accepting
we want
any
everybody
bull crap.
to feel welcome, and we want everybody that ain't on that page to not feel welcome.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. Like if you're on that other shit, man, like we're like not really trying to, engage you too much.
So going back to this M2, that's Mimosa 2, basically.
That's what that stands for.
Okay, but I'm looking like, okay, Mimosa 2020, whatever, M2. So when is that one gonna open?
We'll do a bunch of, I'm probably gonna do like 3 or 4 soft openings in the next few weeks, and then slated to open 4th of July weekend.
Okay. So what kind of food we gonna have? Is it gonna be the same food?
Nah, it's different.
Okay.
It's different.
It's gonna be very
But
good.
it's
gonna be good food.
It's very good food.
So can we have our anniversary dinner there?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's in a couple weeks. June 21st.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Talk about
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So how did you deal with the violence? How did you deal with the violence? I know there's a lot of, they like to associate the nightlife with what's going on in Oakland.
I've been very fortunate to have very few incidents happen, and I think part of it is because of my relationship with so many people from so many places.
The respect.
With the respect, from San Francisco to Richmond, everybody in East Oakland, West Oakland, so we tend to have less problems. And we gear everything to a more mature person.
Right.
We don't really do the real young,
Right.
We
And I think
try to keep people over 30, that just got something to lose, different mindset. They want to go home at night. They're not just out here.
they just want to come out and have fun. Right.
Yeah. And then, like you said, we treat everybody with respect.
Right.
And I have a bunch of people work for me that have relationships.
Which is
So
good.
when I'm not there, it's like everybody knows Gary, everybody knows AJ, everybody knows me, everybody knows Jeff, everybody knows Toy.
Right.
So they feel like, they don't feel like some stranger is talking to them.
Right.
If there is an issue or something, it's like,
Man, cuz, come on. You know me, we grew up in the same hood.
it's like when the wise guys pull up.
Well, that's right, him outside.
Is
that the wise guys outside?
Cash.
Okay.
Blow the leash for
Yeah, get your people.
whoever.
Yeah.
Big.
Cause I remember
need you
one.
to,
I remember
make sure
one time
everybody
you
cool,
called
man. And it's, just having a relationship with people has really allowed me to not have problems. And then I got a good relationship with OPD.
Yeah.
So like OPD doesn't really, like growing up with so many different
Right.
cats that are now commanders or retired, like Mercy and Tone Joneses and Bobby Hookfield and all those cats that will look out for me. Hey, y'all, whatever noise y'all making, don't do that shit on everybody.
Right. But you actually look out for people. I remember one time you called me in the middle of the night. One of my young ladies, I think she had drank too much. She had too much to drink, and you was like, it had to be in the morning. It was in the morning. And I remember telling
several people.
Yeah, you was like, hey, little sis, she had too much to drink. Y'all might need to come and get her. And I think when Ed was getting up to come and, pick her up, and I think somebody had taken her home. You had got somebody to take her home that, you trusted. So that said a lot about your quality.
I think it was her.
It was one of her best, because you was like, I think she showed somebody in your family.
Let her leave.
No, hey, I appreciate that. That just shows, your commitment to the community and then caring about these people, the girls or whoever. I mean, you don't want that on your watch. And then again, you care. That could be your cousin, your sister, your daughter. Because you do have a daughter, right? And how old is your baby?
30.
You have a 30-year-old? Dang, what you doing with a 30-year-old?
Got one?
I know what you're saying, but Cousin Lester said business is business, friendship is friendship. You cannot mix the two. That's what Les said.
Les know.
I think that'd be my problem. I think I'd be trying to commingle the two, or I trust people.
Not when it comes down to this. Like when you're creating those relationships with people or whatever, you can. And then you still have to manage that to where, like if you're doing something with somebody else, you got to manage the expectation, and then you still should just doing it right.
Right.
I
can still be your friend. I can still be your friend, but we need to get this. We need to get this right.
You can't mess around when it comes down to like this type of stuff, like where your bread and butter is going to be. Mm-hmm. Like you can't. It's got to be.
That's something that I definitely. Gotta learn. Why do you choose to keep your businesses here in Oakland? With all the red tape that we gotta go through, with all the.
It's been tough.
But
I've thought about leaving several times.
I'm just saying, it's gotta be hard.
I've got a lot of friends. Like I didn't really learn most of what I know about nightlife from people in the Bay Area. Most of what I learned from like the big boys across the country. Mm-hmm. Those are my friends.
Like
Mark Barnes and Alex, and like these guys that own,
multiple. Yeah.
Like the biggest stuff that there is in the country. So they've always said, man, how much money you make when you left Oakland?
Gotta leave something for my people. I gotta leave.
I at least gotta do it here first, and then I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I felt like I owed Oakland that.
But don't it feel like that? Like any do? I mean,
I feel like Oakland deserves that. They deserve to have something or someone that cares enough about it and its culture to just put it on his back and ride with it.
For real.
At least until you get it right.
Right.
It's one thing if it's not right, but I think it's important to be able to show people that you can get it right. Like just like what you're doing. Like this is important.
I'm trying to get it right.
To show people
right.
You can get it right. Like you ain't gotta be from Oakland and your shit gotta be all messed up.
Or
and
people, that's what they
you
think
run
of.
bad,
Right,
and people
right,
talking
right.
bad about you, and you
Right.
fight with this person, or you don't get along with that club because that club did this. Like, you know, we all, like all the black clubs, we all, like, people probably don't know this, but we all like talk on text like
Right.
every day.
Is that caucus thing? Because I remember,
No, it's just us.
it's just
like
the clubs?
everybody that got a black club, like we all are friends. Like
Okay.
we all, I mean,
Okay.
we talk like daily.
So, the caucus, is that still existing? I know you guys.
That's something. That was something else. But like what we're doing, this is
Just friends. Just
like
friends.
10 or 15 guys,
Okay.
brothers that own
Stuff
clubs
here
in
in Oakland. Okay.
and we all like talk, you
Okay.
know, and share information. And, you know, people don't
What?
have an idea that we
y'all
talk
know
like
each other.
this.
Yeah.
You know, that we're all as close as we are. Like, oh man, you know, Taco Tuesday's competing with Smoking Woods Taco Tuesday. Like, what are you talking about, man? Me and Wood was just in Vegas together. Like,
We friends. We friends.
Let's sit
Right.
here and talk to you. If you need something, you come get it from me. I come get it from you.
I
Like,
need a
we-
table. That's why I'll be begging for tables and chairs. Y'all have it. But so that's good that you guys have that community. So with y'all having that community, so when they have these meetings or you guys like send texts out, like we need to go represent
Absolutely.
largely at the city council
Absolutely.
meeting. You ever thought about politics?
There's a cabaret meeting next Friday that we're all.
So is there something going on with the cabaret things that they're trying
Well, because the state is opening back up,
to? Okay.
so you'll be able to go back inside without a restricted number on the 15th.
Mm.
So that means cabaret. It means, you know, like, because people for a year weren't able to do that. So most people didn't renew any cabaret licenses or anything. You know, it's expensive.
Right.
So a lot of people, they're trying to figure out what the moratorium is going to be, you know, if people, fire inspections are up to, it's just a lot to it, more than what meets the eye with all this stuff. You know, you can't have more than 50 people without having an assembly permit. Most people don't know that.
What do you mean, like in Oakland?
Period. In Oakland, and definitely in Oakland.
Wait, you can't assemble more than 50 people,
50 people without a fire assembly permit.
even if
Which
you're
costs like
outside?
$1,000. You know, and it doesn't matter what the venue is.
So the permit, is that yearly or is that per event?
It's yearly.
So you pay $1,000
It depends
for
on
50
the
to
venue.
have, it
But you
doesn't,
definitely have to have. You're definitely supposed to have.
is that just in the cabaret thing, in the cabaret? It's
Every time you sing for
Really?
fire, and that's been enforced. They just used to never enforce it,
Wow,
but after the Ghost Ship fire,
Oh.
they enforce everything about fire.
wow, wow.
And then the police will come sometimes, like, you know, like I see like some small, like these little event places that pop up,
Mhm.
and I didn't see that.
Right.
But, yeah, they could all day long could come in if you're in a place like one of these places.
Uh-huh.
They could call it a breach in your lease and force you out
Wow.
because you don't have. There's definitely a clause in there that there's definitely a paragraph that says you must abide by all
Yeah.
city
Mhm.
ordinances
Yeah.
and laws and have permits in place
I did see
to do
that.
things.
I did see that.
So that's, you know, it's just a bunch of stuff that we ignore that we shouldn't ignore just so we could be airtight.
Do we ignore it or do we just take care of our business? Because I think even with us, it'll be more so that, you know, we have to make sure all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed, because if there's going to be something happening, it's going to hit us first.
Well, I think part of it is that we don't know, just like you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know
but
that.
that doesn't make it legal.
Right.
It's because you don't,
Right,
like
but
people
that's
break them
ignorant.
all the
Yeah, you
time. You're
can't,
like, well, I
right.
didn't know. Well, okay, you're
Right.
going to ticket or I'm going to arrest you.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know,
No.
it's like it doesn't make it not exist because you don't know. So I think some of us have to figure out what we're doing and what we have to do to be in compliance with these things.
See, that's the thing about it. Do we have like a base?
We don't.
Like I know,
There's
so
nowhere- there's
I'm
nowhere
just
to
thinking.
go
I'm
with
thinking about joining the Oakland Black Chamber of Commerce, and so I don't know if they have like a call? Because I think that would be beneficial. I think that would be beneficial because I would join them because they got the game plan down. Yeah. And you can't go wrong because, I'm ready to join. Kathy seems to be very vocal. She's out there. She seemed like she knows how to promote businesses. And
Kathy and I, when COVID hit, Kathy and I did a fund. And so we did a fund for small Black businesses only in Oakland.
And you guys gave out money, right?
$1 million.
Yeah.
Raised $1 million.
Wow. That's big.
Just her and I.
See, that's big.
They gave it all away.
Because I think didn't Leilani give?
Probably.
I think Leilani had got some of that. Right. Yeah. I think Leilani had got some of that. That was big.
$15,000 to $2,500 was great amounts.
So with you going, I know you do like events all over the country, right? You just left from where you left and you had some Cabo. He went to Cabo and you're going to have an event next year in Cabo.
Sure.
For the grown and sexy. You got to be grown and sexy.
So we used to do Palm Springs, and then we stopped doing it about 3 years ago. And we've been playing around with the idea of bringing Palm Springs back. And then I always wanted to do Mexico. So we went down and we just been kind of playing with the idea. So we secured a venue, secured a hotel, bought out the whole hotel.
Wow.
350 rooms.
Okay.
For Memorial Day weekend next year.
From y'all hear that
Memorial
Day, he gonna tell y'all when y'all
need
to book.
On sale. I'll do a pre-sale next week, so my friends can get it next week, and it's gonna be cool because not only is the hotel dope, but right on the beach, and the entire hotel is all inclusive, so it's gonna be $800 a person. And that will include food everything and your drinks.
Right. And then, on the beach crazy. And the beach.
Yeah.
And then they have all the parties in the inside. The parties going to be separate.
Everything's going to be, all the parties will be there.
Wow. That's big. So you ain't got to leave the hotel.
You don't have to leave the hotel.
Yeah, that'd be right up your alley. He never like leave the hotel. I ain't going outside. We're going to just stay here. So the biggest star, that's one of my questions. Who's the biggest star you've ever entertained or hosted a party with or had come in Liege?
Had come in Liege? The biggest star in Liege or the biggest star I ever did?
Biggest star ever.
That I ever dealt with.
That you ever dealt with.
That's crazy. It's a lot.
Well, I mean, who's the biggest? I mean, in your eye, who you'd have been like, okay. I was excited to have this person. Give me two. Okay, give me two. Dang, you got that many?
I've had a lot. Inside Liege, the biggest inside Liege. Probably the biggest person I ever entertained was probably Nas.
Okay. Nas is big.
Yeah, he's like friend, like being his manager. So we do a lot of stuff through him.
And so then they just come in and they do they pop-ups here and then
Nas ain't like a real big party dude. Like he's like kind of like Ed. Right. You don't know if he having fun or not. Like, what is he doing? Right. Sitting in the corner, talk a little bit, don't talk a lot. Sip. You sip a little bit, but you don't get drunk,
Hey.
Puff, that's cool.
I would have thought Puff would have been bigger than in your eye.
But I mean, Puff was like so, well, you know what? Puff was like so long in the stuff that I've so many years.
Okay.
Who else?
Nas and Puff is good. And these are both what? Where's Puff from? The East Coast. Yeah, so they both from New York. So that's the East Coast. And I know you be doing what's that DJ you be hanging out with? That's your buddy. The light, yeah. No, the light skinned.
Oh, Kid Capri.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But D-Nice too. D-Nice is.
He came up during COVID.
D-Nice was funny. The funniest story is that Derek was supposed to, right when COVID hit, the week that COVID hit was a week before my 10th anniversary. And D Nice was DJing my 10th anniversary. And it all just, and then it was funny because we were talking about it, and that's how the whole club quarantine thing started, because he and I were DJing online because we were so bored and just staying in the house and we were tripping. It was like, man, you know,
and we was at home with our wine.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna go on now, and you come on after me. And I was like, all right. And then the first time we did it, like nobody, like he had like 100 followers, 100 people tapped in, and I had like maybe 50 or something like that. And then he was like, well, I'm just gonna keep doing it. And I was like,
shit, I ain't doing it. I ain't gonna set up all my.
It turned into some whole shit. But I'm so happy for him.
Well, you know, that's a calling.
Yeah.
You know, but while he was doing that, you was writing out your business plan for him too.
I was trying to.
So nobody lost.
I was at home. The first month, I was freaked out. I was like, man, what the hell? I didn't know what was going to happen. Everything was closed down.
You had a lot going on. You had a surgery.
That was before all that, but I was still nervous because I've always figured whatever you do, you need to have multiple streams of income.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was Liege, Slice, DJing, and getaway events, like events around the country. So when COVID hit, every stream of income I had stopped. All of them. And I was freaked out. I was like, all of my shit stopped it like that day. It's like, and I was just sitting
wait, what?
all this? Like, I didn't know when nothing was coming. I wasn't getting no checks. And nothing come. I was like, man, they didn't have no grant programs out or nothing.
Yeah, they wasn't doing that back then.
I was just like,
I didn't get no
this
PPP.
can't be happening. This is not, it ain't supposed to be like this. And then I didn't know what was going to happen. I know Adam was going to try to put us out or whatever. And he was cool. He was like, you know, as long as it's COVID, don't, you know, you're closed. Don't worry about the rent. I figure it out later or whatever. So.
And that was a blessing in itself.
That was,
you know.
Too. And my other landlord.
Because everybody.
Landlord at my pizza restaurant, the same thing. He was like, is it? He was like, Chris, really?
So is the pizza place still open?
I haven't opened it back up. I'm probably going to open it next month.
Why not? People ready. We ready.
Yeah. I've got a lot of.
You're not ready. You're not ready. That's what it is. So just recently, I know you've been having like people writing on your walls and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's because of the gentrification, or do you think that they really just don't want people in this area? I mean, tell me what you're thinking.
That they probably never. I don't think. Well, for one,
and so what we're talking about,
guys. The slur that they used was spooks, and spooks is a very old man's. It's not like someone saying niggas. It's like spooks. That's, you know, some 50s. You got to be old. Like even when I showed, it was like, oh, I had to look that up to see what that. I know.
Right. Well, we've heard it.
It's in New Orleans, so I knew what. When they called you a spook.
So what happened was he would come back to his business establishment and people would write racist things on his wall. And just recently they had to go through some. I
found out though, I keep it 100. I found out that the slave ship thing, the guy actually reached out to me, and was not meant as a racist overture. It's not a slave ship. It's immigrants and how they see themselves in this country.
Okay.
And he was very apologetic.
So after you posted, somebody saw who he was, and because he has a camera.
Somebody found him on Instagram.
Okay.
And then oddly enough, he had put that on my wall and posted it on his Instagram.
Okay.
So, and he reached out and apologized and was like, oh man, you know. Okay. So I want to make that clear now.
So it wasn't a race.
But the other stuff did happen.
And so the
crossing out of the Black Lives Matter bad black business ideas, spooks, all that. Yeah, that all.
And so explain.
Which is why I thought that was just like
right. Because when I saw the picture, I was like,
right. That's how I was when I saw. I was like, motherfuckers.
Because I was like, oh man, not in Oakland. Like,
Dan was like, yeah, with the camera back.
He was looking.
Oh yeah, Dan found me the camera.
Oh my God, that was kind of scary for me being right across the street and just like, okay,
Well, I mean, but it's still, somebody did the other stuff,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that's crazy though. We're 2021, and still.
That don't mean that they like us. People like you.
They never liked us, but now they just feel bold enough to do some shit.
Well, the thing about it, we're not going anywhere. So what you gonna do?
Nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. That we're not going
If they didn't like me now, they're gonna really hate me in a few months.
Well, the thing about it, M2 is a whole totally different demographic.
I'm not going as far as that.
Well, I know where you're going, but I'm just saying that's like the other side. You see what my hand did one of these? That's like the other side.
All right, so I'm gonna give you an exclusive, right? So after 91 years, 91.
Okay.
Mexicali Rose has been in possession for that company for 91 years.
Right.
So I now have Mexicali Rose, and I'll be the second. The second.
What? You went for it.
Second, yeah.
I remember you mentioned it to me. You was like, oh.
For 2 years.
Mexicali Rose.
Yeah, I have. So we'll be doing that. It's gonna be called for the culture.
For the culture. Man, I'm so proud to know you. That's big. Congratulations.
Big. That's why I'm excited about all this.
You didn't went from Mexicali, bro. We were just saying we need different places that we can go where we are running things, and this is just an example of what Oakland leadership, what Oakland Black businesses can do if we stick together and then run it the way it's supposed to be ran. Because I think a lot of time if you run it raggedy, that's the way it's gonna look, and then I quite naturally would.
That's the way it's gonna, that's the way it's gonna end up.
Dang, Mexicali, y'all hear that? Mexican, he got the whole building and the parking lot. And the parking lot.
So it will be indoor out there. It's gonna be.
You gonna take over that parking lot? But I mean,
there ain't gonna be no parking.
But I'm just saying, we got you out there.
The whole parking lot is gonna be used.
Oh my God, let me see what they saying. We got a lot of. Oh, Tavita said the nostalgia of Mexicali Road in itself, and then you had the new owner. I am here for it. Way to go! And she said it's gonna be lit. Congratulations. Auntie August said hi. Hey, Auntie August. Hey, Aunt Sue. She said when you Google best places for Black people to vacation, Oakland is on the list. We gonna make it even more better.
Yeah,
so my aunt's from Texas, so she's watching. I get a lot of older people that be like, I watch you on YouTube, on that YouTube thing. I'm like, okay, that's my auntie and them doing it. QB said, thanks for looking out for her that night. I wasn't gonna say no name, but she said, thanks for looking out for me. She got praying hands. I'm just excited. I'm excited for you. I really am. You deserve. Oh, you can see the comments on there now.
Oh,
you deserve. She said, Adrian. Oh, he ain't got his glasses on. He just got off. No, really seriously, got off the plane. Just got off the plane. So I definitely appreciate you, and I know this is gonna be big. You're gonna be running Oakland. Politics next. Chris for city council.
I thought about it.
Chris for mayor.
I wouldn't do city council because if I did, I would want to do District 3, and I like everybody.
What is that down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Carol's my homegirl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lynette was my homegirl, so I don't know if I would do city council.
Okay.
I don't know.
So wonder if she decided not to run.
If she decided not to run, maybe.
Yeah. Because I think because Oakland is our city, it's time for us to have more people that look like us in there, but not only look like us, but truly care about the people in the community.
Or have a vested stake in Oakland and where it's going and how it's getting there. So it's like with all this violence and everything, really, it's amazing how much the violence has has shot up. And if you really look at it, so I know you probably know Ursi, right?
I heard of the name. It's a police officer. Yeah.
So he retired 2 years ago, and he was the one that created the whole ceasefire thing, and had murders at an all-time low in Oakland, and then he retired, and now, but that comes from somebody really caring,
right?
Like not just like
got my check.
Somebody else got killed. Come over here, put the tape up, take a report.
It should hurt your heart.
Yeah, it's like it bothered him to see the city, his city that he grew up in, like that.
I think
like it bothers me. It's like
no.
Me and Jeff, we were at M2 and we came over here, and
that was that's Monday.
That was Monday.
Yeah.
And the officer is putting the blanket over the body.
Right.
Like right when we got here at 2 in the afternoon.
You're like, what the hell? What just happened?
Adam was all freaked out. He was showing the property to somebody, some client or something. He's like, I heard the shots. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you did.
Right
I can't blame this on that.
No, because we wasn't even open. We wasn't even open.
Right.
And do you think we are desensitized? I mean, because I think we're desensitized towards the violence, the people on the street. It's becoming a norm. I don't never want to not feel what somebody else is feeling. Because when I'm here in the morning at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, there's homeless people actually laid out on the ground with their blankets.
I mean, I know that I hate feeling like that. So because even like when, it's like if I hear gunshots, I don't really get spooked. Like, like most normal people, when they hear gunshots are going to be laying on the ground, hiding under shit. Like, I don't really get like, it's like I've heard so many gunshots in my life that I'm just, I ain't gonna go to the window. I ain't do nothing stupid, but I ain't hiding under the furniture either.
I'm hiding. I'm gonna be
I think that's because it's so much, that happens. And the other thing is that whenever I hear about someone getting shot in Oakland, I immediately think that they're black, and I immediately think someone black there.
Yeah, which is sad.
That's some fucked up shit right there. It's like I immediately, that's every time. Not even like one time, what color was your I don't never even
you wait to hear the name. Well, I just be like, right
when that happened.
Well, I didn't think black down. I didn't think black down here just because at 2 o'clock in the daytime, I didn't think that they would be that bold by the police department.
These cats.
And so that's the thing that I was thinking about. And then, I know we have a new, last week it was the young ladies that got shot on that bus. And then this week is the people that got shot at their job. But it just kind of just swept the young ladies, the stuff that they went through.
A bus full of girls. When they start doing that?
I think it starts at home. I think all this stuff starts at home. We got to do more in our homes, and because these kids are just I think they're raising themselves.
I don't know what it is.
I believe that they're raising themselves.
I'm still having a hard time believing that they just shot up a bus full of young girls.
I talked to the young lady that was driving the bus, Jasmine. I want to put something together for her because she's definitely a hero. She is 30 years old, and I asked her. I said, "How did you feel driving that bus?" Wow. She said, I didn't have any feelings. She said all she remembers saying was apply pressure. She said she was telling the young people in the back, like the people that got shot, just apply pressure as she was driving. So she went from the freeway to off the street. And she said in her mind, she was just like, if they follow me to the police department, they just gonna follow me to the police department. I'm not stopping this bus until she said it was hitting the tires, the bullets was hitting the tires. And then she said she felt her back burning. She had been shot.
Yeah.
And she's still driving that bus. And I said, baby, do you know you are a hero?
Yeah.
You know you are a hero? And I asked her about work, she was like, no, I won't be able to go back. So her whole stream of income is gone, and just the point that she was at work trying to do her job and something like this happened. And it's like all those bullets, that big gun, that wasn't no boo-boo gun. Those wasn't no Nintendo 64 guns. That was some real some real bullets. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. What should we do?
I don't know. It's crazy, man. I just want it all to stop.
But how we gonna stop it?
I don't even know, man.
You think getting the guns off the street is enough?
How you gonna do that?
Mm.
All these cats and everybody got the ghost guns now. So
yeah,
now they done all got the game now. They just go buy pieces of guns and have somebody put them together.
Yeah, can you do them on a computer now? Yeah. Then they say you can do
YouTube how to put them together.
Man, that's crazy. Let me see.
They got all these cats that'll put them together for you for $100.
Auntie Alka said social media is raising the kids. She said, Sam, what you and Chris are doing for our city is a great representation, especially given the fact that you both are natives. Auntie Alka, you talking about me running for city council. I'm checking. Mexicali Rose is nice. She said, praise the Lord, brother, on you getting that Mexicali Rose deal. We gonna be so excited about this Mexicali Rose thing. Yeah, can y'all hear the music from across the street? We ready to go over there and do a two-step. What time? Yeah, they fixed. We about to go do a two-step. So, Chris, give me 4 things that you would want Oakland upcoming business owners to know. And not just upcoming, like I'm established with a lot of stuff that I'll be calling you about. Like, hey, what you think about this kind of thing? But I appreciate you always answering my phone calls too. I be calling.
4 things. Well, you touched on one.
Contracts.
Everything has to be in writing.
A contract.
Everything has to be in writing. Learn to understand terminology and the municipalities of your business.
Of our own business.
Of your own business.
Okay.
What's another one?
What about the money part?
Most important thing about the money part is to stay on top of your taxes.
Taxes.
That is the most important. You have to pay taxes, and if you pay them on time, you'd be surprised how much money you end up saving.
I don't want to play with the I and
fees
all
are
the S.
exorbitant. They're exorbitant, like 50%.
Right. Because you late.
You pay 50% more.
Because you late.
Because you late.
Yeah, we ain't got time.
Pay it on time.
And
make your taxes a priority. Because let me tell you all this. Everybody that got a loan, a PPP, a grant, or any of that stuff, they had to have filed their taxes. So all of y'all that didn't file your taxes, y'all could have got whatever had you had a legitimate business where you just filed taxes on that business. And filing taxes, there's a misconception that filing taxes means I got to pay a bunch of taxes. It doesn't necessarily.
No, because you might have write-offs.
You need to figure out how to have write-offs. You need to figure out what you need to file to legitimize your business.
Right.
Like you can't have a legitimate business and not have filed taxes.
Right.
Doesn't mean you have to pay
and then
a whole bunch.
there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of benefits. Because after we went to a different tax bracket, they were like, okay, you don't have to pay so much money unless you start a business. Right. I was already in the garage doing tip-top shape, but I didn't monetize it. I wasn't monetizing it. But then once I flipped it over and got the LLC and got the business license and stuff like that, I was like, okay, so there are some benefits.
There's a lot of benefits.
So
and there's tax benefits, tax credits, especially in California.
Well,
right
whatever you buy.
Tax credits, black-owned business, woman-owned business. Then there's a million grants out there for Black people and especially Black women.
Okay.
Like really, but you just gotta look for them.
Ain't
nobody gonna call you and be like, "Here goes some grant."
I want the grant.
You're going late.
Right.
Apply. Because people do it to me all the time. Okay. Like, "Hey, got one for you." But for the most part, if you just like stay on Google, like people stay on social media. If you're looking for money instead of looking for likes,
right,
you're gonna find the money instead of the likes. Right.
I'm
off social media.
I'm gonna change the narrative. I'm gonna start looking for these grants. Because there's so much I can do with a grant.
For the money, because the money is there, and there's a lot of free money out there. Okay. There's a lot of free money.
I like free money.
Everybody does.
Can I get some free money?
They just don't want to do the little bit of
the contract work
that has to go along with it. And don't do no stupid shit. Don't do no made up, falsified. Don't do none of that shit because it's
They're
really
gonna come and get you.
as simple as just doing it the right way.
So do we have anybody that can help us? You know any grant writers or grant people?
Nowadays, I really don't think you need that.
Okay.
I mean, because
So
they have made it
simplistic.
so, like every grant or anything that I've gotten, I've been able to get from my phone. Like I have not sat down and had to write out
Computer and did
anything.
this?
Nothing.
Okay.
I've been able to do every last single thing from my phone. So you can apply, you can upload documents, all that shit from your phone.
Do you hear that? Grants.
Okay.
They have grants.
They have a lot of grants, especially for Black people. I'm gonna send you a link.
Yeah, send me the link.
I'm gonna send you a link.
Oh, they
There's a
said
lot.
what time is the block party? Right, the block party is going on right now.
1 o'clock Monday afternoon.
Okay, so Monday is the block party, but tonight, right now, they're outside right now. Leave right now.
Tonight, tomorrow.
So tonight,
Sunday.
tomorrow, Sunday, and the block party is Monday.
Yeah.
Y'all come out. It's
Going out with a bang.
not a real band.
Not a real bang.
We're gonna have some three birds with a clap. Yeah. A round of
Yeah.
applause. But
No
soon,
banging.
But soon we're gonna be opening up right around the corner.
Yes. Probably it'll be fall because it's gonna be,
This fall?
it'll be a full remodel.
Wait, you mean like fall in 2021? So Chris is, y'all see, we got the real boss in here. So we got M2 opening up in the next couple of weeks. And I mean, some soft openings in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to have For the Culture, which is the old Mexicali Rose. And For the Culture, that means it's for people, not just us, but it's owned by one of us. So technically,
It's definitely gonna be full of culture.
For the Culture. Y'all know what that means. So I'm trying to see what Ed is doing. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. He's like, leave him alone. So I don't know. Is there anything that you want to share with the people? Your biggest love? I think me and Chris, I think we really bonded. I really started to like you, like for real, when after my mom died. And
It's a tough time for a lot of people, and I've been through it.
yeah.
So a lot of times you just, and it brings back. So it's like every time you have a friend die, it brings back all those emotions
Right.
like when it happened to you.
Right.
So it's definitely something that is like a fucked up fraternity to belong to,
That
but
club ain't cool.
it is good to have a support so you can talk to people that understand how you feel.
Mm-hmm. I remember you
Because a lot of
called, you
people,
called us.
until you lose a parent, you don't really understand how somebody feels.
Right.
Like you can say, oh, shit, it's gonna be all right. And I'm like, oh. You're like, yeah,
Your
I'm
mom's
gonna
still
call
here?
you tomorrow.
Right, your mom's still here?
Yeah.
And all you can do when somebody loses somebody is say, hey, I'm here for you. You don't have to have no long speech, because I think a lot of times people, they don't know what to say.
Right.
Just simply say, because I think me and you, I think it was your wife, we was all on the phone, and you was just like, hey, I'm here. Y'all need me. I'm just calling to check on you. And those kind of phone calls for me, it goes a long way. It goes long. You can give me $1,000 and that won't go as far as somebody calling to say, I love you, I appreciate you, I'm rocking with you, I'm here for you in those type of moments. So thank you. We honor you. And I want to thank you for spending your Friday with me. I know you still
I
got.
can't wait. I was thinking about this the whole time. So I was like, man, I'm gonna get off the plane.
I know you did good
I'm
though.
gonna talk about. I'm gonna put all these questions that people, all these bullshit ass questions.
What?
people keep
No.
asking.
What questions are
All
you
this,
asking?
people gonna, the police close you down. And,
Oh,
and
no,
I just
no.
feel like looking like, where are you getting this shit from?
Well, because that's how we do. They
I
say.
know, but it just was like hilarious. I mean, but I'd be getting like 20 of those questions a day.
But then they're gonna close
Like,
you
all
down.
the time,
You're gonna
like-
open up something 4 times bigger than where you are now.
People, they don't know.
It's
They-
but
like,
see,
it's
but,
cool.
and that's when you can just be like this. Think what you want to think.
Yeah,
I mean, 'cause I
don't
think we
care.
gotta stop worrying about.
If somebody asks me, I answer the question. Other than that, it's like,
So what do you say?
I am. Usually, if I give you the information, the ink is already dry, the deal is done.
Because I ain't gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna
Like, I'm
talk
not
about it
gonna
till
talk
it's
about
done.
it Until it's like there.
Well, it's there.
So it's there.
We got M2 and For the Culture coming to you guys soon. Make sure y'all support my brother Chris. He definitely loves his community. He's from Oakland. He's a grown man doing grown man things, but he is employing. I mean, you have a great staff and you're hiring more and more people. And I mean, I see it. And you're not only teaching them how to work, but you're teaching them how to be responsible, you know?
Yeah, you gotta breed leaders.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to just employ a bunch of people. I do. I don't mind, giving people jobs, but I feel better when I know that person went on to do something and they did some good things in life,
Right.
based on some of the skills that they picked up.
Mhm.
Like I've had, a lot of different employees that come in and say, thank you.
Right.
I learned a lot working for you, and I learned how to do this, and I learned how to do that, and I learned how to apply certain things. And, sometimes you just got to be a mentor without mentoring people.
Right. Just be an example of what good is.
Yeah, just.
And not even what good is, what great
you
is.
want to teach people, the right way to do shit.
Right. But you gotta, but if you walk in it, they're gonna follow it. At some point, they're gonna be like, okay, that's how you do it. That's how you do it legitly. Well, I try to be an example.
You came out the garage and out the street, and now
yeah,
that's what you're doing.
And,
it's
I'm trying to sign the ink.
I say this all the time, is that we never know who's watching us. It's like you're inspiring somebody that you probably never meet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I look at it. It's like what I'm doing, I'm not necessarily doing it for me. I know that I'm inspiring some kid from Oakland or elsewhere that I probably will never meet.
Right.
I've had people come up to me and be like, what, you changed my life. And you're like,
wow.
Did I meet you?
Right.
And they're like, no, we never met, but I just been watching you, and I've been watching you the whole time, bro, and you really helped me.
Right.
And it makes you feel good when somebody says that shit, like a stranger, like not somebody that you even know, that people are just actually impacted by your work.
By your work.
Like getting up.
No.
You know how many motherfuckers, how many lives you changed?
I get there. I have some ladies from out of
shape it in their health and everything by just watching you.
Yeah. It's amazing, but the thing about it, especially when you question your walk sometimes, because sometimes you ask some things may not always go as planned. So I end up questioning, like, is this God? This is the path he really got me on? And then you get those inboxes, or you get somebody who come in, like a lady came today for a waist trainer. She's from out of the state, and she's just like, I've been watching you on Instagram, and you really inspire me to get up. I've lost such weight, and I was like, okay, so that means this is what God has for me. This is the path he has for me to keep this up. So I just say big ups to you. As I said before, I'm super, super proud. And I pray that God keep covering you and keep blessing you and keep increasing you.
And this guy right here. And everything that y'all do as a family, as a unit, because y'all, like that too is something that probably inspires a lot of people that y'all don't even see. Just the way that you guys are and interact, and y'all kids, like all y'all kids. So it's like, I see them.
All their parties been right across the street, and that's what I'm saying. You've never.
And they're all raised correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all gonna be. I mean, it's not just with us; it was the village, and I'm okay with the village correcting mine. So you see them out of pocket, you're gonna be like, hey, I just saw your son, which you haven't, but if you were, I would know that you would, hey, boy over here ain't looking good. Come get it. So I can appreciate
I'm gonna let you know like that.
So they said, who's that? Saying they loving it. Oh, Frederica said, much success. She said, oh, Sam, you're killing it. You're inspiring women to take care of their physical health, our bodies, and our temple. Thank you. Since Danielle said, yes, you are. You're a true woman of God, influential and motivational. Thank you. And she's clapping on your success, Chris. Everybody, we are really, we got to get a shirt. Town grown, for real. So y'all, next week, we're going to find out about our trip going to Cabo. M2's going to be open. I'm going to talk to him about, I ain't going to tell you what we're going to have there for me and husband. And then for the culture. Y'all get ready because he's doing it for the culture. So with that being said, we're going to say, Samantha, thank you for watching Samantha Wise Words. Make sure you guys tag somebody, share, and invite somebody to watch maybe the next one. I might go to the Wise Guys next week. I think I want to see what they're going to talk about. I would love to see what the wise guys have to talk about. Y'all let me know what we're gonna talk about in the future.
They ain't gonna talk about.
He was sitting here like, I ain't answering that, Sam. I ain't answering that. So you guys have nothing to do tonight. Come on, come to Liege right quick.
Come have a drink with me, man.
It's still
Come
happy
on.
hour. We can toast him for all his endeavors that are coming. Each one teach one. You're absolutely right. So with that, we're gonna say good night, happy Friday. We hope to see you guys this weekend at Liege. The closing. Look, he ready. Good night, y'all.
I see y'all. Y'all come through.